Hello guys, you're welcome. In our previous lesson we looked at how to set up the PHP environment, how to install the exam server that enables us to run PHP, and also we looked at the VS Code that we are going to use throughout this lesson for writing our PHP code. So what we are going to do in this lesson, that I'm going to introduce you to the basic syntax of the PHP programming language. The PHP programming language begins with an opening tag and also this is a closing tag. So this less than sign, questions mark and PHP is the opening tag, while this question mark and greater than sign is the closing tag. Now this echo here is a command that tells PHP compiler to print this text here, this string here, onto the screen, and this semicolon here is telling PHP to terminate the instruction. So that is what gives the result hello world onto the screen. You can actually ignore the closing tag if this is the last block of code you are writing on your file, on this particular PHP file. So, and everything will still work normal. Then you can, but you have to ensure that at the end of every PHP code you terminate it with a semicolon, otherwise you will run into an error, because PHP programming language needs to be terminated with a semicolon, just like the way in writing you ensure that you end every sentence you make with either full stop or exclamation mark or question mark. So in PHP programming, like some other programming languages, you need to terminate a line of code with a semicolon. And PHP also allows you to embed PHP with other files you have within that, and with other pieces of code within that particular file. Okay, what I mean is that you can embed HTML together with PHP and it will work just fine. So let me demonstrate that. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a HTML boilerplate. To do that, I'll press Shift 1 to bring out the exclamation mark and press enter. So this gives me a basic HTML boilerplate. So I'm going to type here PHP lesson as title, and then if you open, save, click save, Ctrl S, and then you refresh the page, you see that PHP lesson, which is the title, is written here. And anything you type here, let's create a paragraph, that's HTML paragraph, and then say welcome to PHP lesson. Okay, so when I refresh the page, you see that it is displayed on the screen. So this is plain HTML. We have not written any PHP yet, but let me show you what I mean by embedding PHP within HTML. So in order to embed, you have to first of all say less than sign question mark PHP to give you the opening PHP tag, and then ensure you terminate it by using question mark and greater than sign. So anything you write within this opening and closing PHP tag will be considered as a PHP code. So here I'm going to run the command, say echo, this is an embedded PHP instruction, for example. Okay, now if I save and then refresh, notice that that instruction here, that line of code runs here and is working perfectly together with HTML because of this opening and closing PHP tag. And remember, like I said, if you the last block of your code is, if you have the last block of code, there's no need for a semicolon. So this is only one single line of code. But if I have another line of code like here, let's say echo, this is another instruction. Then I have to, if I run like this, run the code like this, it's going to give me an error because you can guess why, because I did not terminate this first line of instruction with a semicolon. So let me do that and then refresh, see that everything works fine. Okay, so this is how to embed PHP within HTML. So the idea is that both PHP and HTML can run together on the same line of code. So this enables you to embed PHP and HTML together. Now it's possible to also, instead of using instead of using this instruction yphp echo hello world, you can also use, if you run this, of course it displays hello world, but you can also do it this way. You can say y question mark equal to hello world. So and then save and reload. Find out that hello world is also printed here because of, now what's happening is that this question mark PHP echo is more verbose. So this is the short form of saying echo yphp echo hello world. This is the short form. By using question mark and equal to, it does the same thing as question mark PHP echo. So the idea is that this is the short form of this particular command. So, and at times you may need to use the short form depending on your need. Okay, so the next thing I want us to know is that we can actually output a block of text onto the screen. So let's say yphp echo, let me terminate it here. So I'm going to use lorem. Okay, lorem ipsum is not working here. Maybe let me switch to HTML and then say lorem. Okay, it displays. Go back. This actually a language mode. That's right now. Just switch to HTML language mode from here, so that it will treat every line of code here as an HTML and also give proper suggestion based on the language mode I'm having. So lorem ipsum by default is not available in PHP language mode. That's why I switched to the HTML mode. So now let me save and then refresh. You notice that that block of text is displayed here. Okay, let me go back to my PHP mode. I think better. Now you can output a block of code like this, or you can also, if you have a, let's say y PHP, also close it. You can say y if condition, Okay, if condition PHP, okay, that's a if condition equal to 1, then I'm going to say echo this block of code, this particular block of code, else echo the block of code, else echo no text. Okay, so right now let me say, for example, the condition equal to 1, for example, terminate with semicolon. Okay, so let me get rid of this line of code. So what I'm showing here is that with PHP you can conditionally render a block of code depending on certain conditions. Okay, so if this condition is equal to 1, then this line of code is going to run, else it's going to run no text. So let's refresh and see it runs, but assuming that the text is not, the condition is equal to 2, and then it will evaluate to false because this condition is no longer equal to 1, so it will evaluate to false and then do whatever that is within the else block. So let me refresh, and then you see no text. So guys, this is the much I'm going to take. So in our next lesson we're going to look at more about the PHP comments. So we're going to know how to use comments in PHP. Thank you.